Welcome to Verbal Brick Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. I'd like to welcome you all to the show. Today we have a special guest, and we're going to deal with the topic of the woman, the role of the woman, and the importance of the woman with Brother Waalee Muhammad.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, brother. Now, a fact of the matter is that a nation can rise no higher than its woman. And
that's the saying.
That's the saying, brother. But can you break down the science of that, brother?
Sure. One of the things is understanding the woman. And from a point of more than who she is, what she is. And what her role is in producing a nation. She is our first teacher. And by her being our first teacher, she is the one that programs the life to being what it becomes. That starts long before just coming out of the womb. That starts while it's in the womb. So these things we need to understand to really see her value. We've been through this slavery process, and as a result of losing the knowledge of ourselves, we no longer really understand the value of the woman to us.
Yes.
There's no life that touched down on the planet, no life of a human being that don't come through her womb.
Yes. Brother, it was interesting when you mentioned slavery. And I'm understanding that, sometimes when a man has an ideal and he wants to put forth effort into achieving that ideal and accomplishing the goal, sometimes it means that you have to buck the system, right? And during slavery times, the woman feared for us. And so when we got ready to move forward, she was, well, I don't think so. But she sometimes didn't understand that we have to get out there and battle regardless. But she pulled on our heartstrings in a sense based out of the fear of what she seen that the colonizer did to us. Brother, how can we get her to shed that fear so we can balance the thing?
Well, first we have to understand, we have to get this right and understand this. Again, I'm going to go back to the woman.
Yes, sir.
So we may as men determine the gender of the child, but she is the one that determines whether it live or die. So she holds the keys to life and death when it comes to your nation. We, being slaves, lost that knowledge, lost the understanding of what self is. We tend to think of self from the divided perspective rather than the original, which is the one. She is, by all rights, very great. I'm going to say that again. One may think that we take our first breath when we come out of the womb. Oh, no, brother. How do you live when you're in it? Who is breathing then? How does that life in her breathe? She breathes for it. She feed it. She nourish it. we make it possible for it to grow and develop it. The mitochondria that's in her, the energy of our life, she carries the bulk of it. So again, we ask, who is this woman? What is this woman? I'm not concerned about the who. It's the what. Once we realize how valuable she is, then we will take better care of her. And we will also make sure that the environment that surrounds her is free of all of that would, say, inhibit, cause a problem for her that she would transmit to the life that's in her.
Wow, brother. That's well said. Well said. So we have a duty as...
Oh, yes.
Come on, brother.
That is our duty. Our duty is to guard her. When we talk about God, most of the time, that's from a slavery perception. We don't understand that. All of that was lost. All of that was lost. So when we look at her, we don't understand what it is. You know, you got to think about this. What's the relationship between God and the woman? If she is the one that produces the life.
Oh, see, brother, now I'm understanding when they call it the poison book. Okay. Because they would have you say, well, you know, every fall of a man is due to a woman. And they go back to Adam and Eve and Sheba and Solomon and Samson and Delilah and the whole nine. And you like, man, what is going on?
Brother, let me tell you this. She shapes your perception of what life is. She is the one that does that. You perceive life through what she transmits to you while you are in her.
Yeah.
She is truly to be guarded. You can't name a man on this planet that did not come through her womb. None. Even Master Farad Muhammad, the one we recognize as the Allah.
Yes, sir.
You understand?
Yes.
She is more valuable than we have understood for a long time. We guard her with our very life.
Wow, brother. So can we say that she knows what's in the womb when she carrying it?
She knows?
I mean, for the characteristics, the value of the child, meaning of what she's bringing into this society, into the world.
More than just us as men lost the knowledge of self. She did as well. And so in her losing that knowledge of self, the baby is prepared by a slave-making machine. So therefore, you are born a slave as a result of her programming to you. That's not her fault. Don't blame her for that.
Yes,
it's our fault who didn't guard and prepare the environment that she lives in where she wouldn't have to fear.
Whoo, brother. Wow. So in order to, because I want to build build a method of order. Does that mean that in this particular dispensation in time, we as men would have to civilize ourselves in order to civilize the woman?
Well, you have to understand about light and darkness. That's something we don't. I told you, we lost the knowledge of self.
Yes, sir.
And losing the knowledge of self, we lost that knowledge of light and darkness. It is light that manifests all that is within the darkness. The light is us. So automatically you know who the darkness is.
Right.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
We bring the light. Nothing can be seen, not even the self, without it. That's us. That's why we are recognized as the one, because of our power and what we're able to do with it.
Oh, right. So we're we have we got amnesia. We've been hit in the head. Okay. You say you got more than amnesia? Come on. But yet we're putting out this energy and power uncontrollably, and it's all over the place.
Well, we're not really generating as we should.
Yes.
You have to look at this. She can't see herself unless we shine on that. And we not shining like the rappers say in the music. So, and so if we don't shine, nothing can be seen.
Yes, sir.
Bro. The white man is simply trapped into a space and period within the time that we gave him. He can't get out. That's why his cipher right now is just circles. It don't spiral. He can't grow. And so now he is diminishing, because anything that can't grow dies. We gave him only a certain amount of light. But if it's not connected to the great generator of light, then it eventually does what? Diminish in value and goes back to from which it came, the dark.
The dark. Oh, my God. Well, how, and if you can share this wisdom, how do we not allow him to pull us down as he diminishes out?
Realize ourselves. One has came, or one has come, and he is given and brought with him what? The light.
The light.
We believe, who followed the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, is Master Farad Muhammad. He is the light that has emerged from the darkness. And his light is the light, of which no end can be seen.
Because his light shining so bright.
So bright, there no end can be seen. This is why in certain parts of the book called Revelation, it tells you
Okay.
Lack of knowledge of these matters, you're trapped in six, which is a certain amount of knowledge that's only designed to go so far. And that was 6,000 years. It can go no further. Once it can go no further, it starts what? Repeating itself. It can't grow. It can't produce nothing new. That means it has what? Reached its what?
Fullness.
That's it. The circle is joined. It's up. It's open.
Okay, so yeah, I'm understanding. So,
back to the woman, as you would say.
Yes, sir.
She is everything to us. Literally, she is everything to us.
Life.
Out of which we brought ourselves. And we left the pattern so that all would know it. That's why no man touches the planet unless he come through the womb of a woman. That is the pattern.
So it seems that not almost everything, if not everything, is designed after the womb of a woman. You know, you plant the seed in the soil, in the darkness, and the flowers and plants, vegetation grow. The saying, as above, so below.
The invisible produce the visible. Is that not darkness producing the light?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I just want to mind those who are listening, because we have listeners from every background, and I appreciate the way that you present the information to where they can understand, and especially when you speak upon Master Muhammad, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, as being the light, so they can understand the importance of knowledge, and especially right now, because they got the movie Godfather of Harlem on, and you know how Hollywood like to portray the Malcolm and Elijah Muhammad all the time. It's like their salvation is to pull people away from that energy.
Well, I would say don't blame Malcolm. I would tell that to anyone. Don't blame Malcolm. You got to understand, power is incredible. And we are just beginning to really get a grasp and understand the magnitude of power and what can be done with it. So we hold no grudge or hard feelings against Malcolm. Malcolm was a Negro, just like we were all Negro before he came into the light of God. Mm-hmm. He came into the light of God was when he came into the knowledge that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad gave to him that came from God. So don't blame Malcolm.
Yes, sir, brother. Yes, sir, brother. Now, the importance of creating a peaceful environment for the woman so she can be in her right mind or think generations of a new mindset to enter into this world, because we're going to need it to overturn the darkness that the Caucasian produced out of his mind, right? But now this is the thing, though, brother, and this is a personal question from myself. Yakub and his nurses, right?
Uh-huh.
Did they also shape that mindset, or could it still be prevalent within the female today to where they say, well, I'm abortion?
Okay. I understand. Understand this. In bringing about Mr. Yakub, and he was a scientist. So, in bringing him about was something that we seen long before he came about. Now, that's interesting there. We saw him coming. Not only did we see him coming, we knew what he was to do. Right?
Yes, sir.
And we allowed him to do it.
Right.
Without interference.
Come on.
You understand?
Yes.
So in allowing him to do it without interference, it meant it was something that needed to be done. Something was going on in us that the majority did not understand. Yet it kept occurring. And that was an aspect of the self that Mr. Yakub manifested. So don't hate our brother for being a scientist. He really did us a favor.
Okay.
He manifested what was creating and causing problems among us. We, as a whole, could not see or understand it, so he simply manifested. He had the light to be able to do so, and he programmed it as well to do what it did. That was what we know as the white man. But where did it come from, brother?
Right.
It came from out of us.
Okay.
Huh?
Okay.
So, what do you see? Bless our poor brothers' hearts. I'm not angry with my brothers, and I don't want them to be. They don't understand the coming of Master Farad Muhammad and why he looked as he do.
Right.
There's no greater manifestation of God than his. His very being manifests who he is. The way he came manifests who he is. As I asked a brother recently, why do you think they call him Master and not just Allah?
I know.
Well, if someone put a title on you as Master,
Right.
and we know what Master means,
Right. Then you mastered all the disciplines. There's nothing you haven't experienced or mastered.
you mastered what? You mastered the self.
The self. Right. Oh, okay. Yes, sir, brother.
And so, when mastering the self, he came to know something. Think about it. The scriptures say all things work together for the good for those that love the Lord, right?
Right.
Running around here trying to be good is not going to get you where you want to be. Running around here trying to be bad is not going to get you where you want to be. Those are called what? Duality.
Right.
As long as you're trapped into duality, you're trapped in the six. And you can't get out.
Yes, sir. So when you master yourself, then you master those dualities. You won't be a victim of them.
You can't be. Not if you rule both natures. You determine what they do as opposed to them victimizing you.
Yes, sir.
You think
Come on. So
Think about it. Let me say this. God is good all the time. That's what the saying is about our Christian brother.
right,
Right?
right.
Is he? Is he?
Mm.
Sometimes he can be a killer.
That's right.
And he kills multitudes of people.
Facts. Facts.
I bet you they don't think he good.
That's facts. That's right. Yeah.
It's all about his will. He got two hands, right?
Right.
So what? He know how to use them both in order to accomplish his will.
What he needs. And oh, come on, brother. And
What?
man, and that's an example of what's in us.
Sure, the potential is there.
The potential. Yeah, bro, because yes, sir.
Go ahead.
No,
Please, go ahead.
because I mean, my mind, like, bro, is going 1,000 miles an hour, brother. So answer this for me, then. Okay, so Adam and Eve in the garden, right? And they say, okay, well, Satan comes up and was like, okay, well, don't eat from this tree of knowledge, because if you do, you'll become one like the gods, right? So they ate. They ate from the tree of knowledge, and it was said, behold, man has surely become one of us. And we couldn't understand what the one of us is.
Well, you know, we way over here now.
I know I'm sorry, but it's with the woman. I know, brother. I'm sorry, but and the reason why I say that is because I'm trying to relate one of us to we have the potential to master ourselves.
Let me say this.
Yes, sir.
By nature, we are who we are.
Yes, sir.
The black man, the original man, by nature. But when you speak of God, that is, as one say, a level that have to be achieved.
Okay.
And so, in achieving that level, one has to grow and develop just like the baby inside of its mother.
Yes, sir.
It has to mature into what it is. So, potentially, all babies don't what? They don't live.
Right.
All babies don't fully mature.
Right.
Some die in the womb,
Right.
which is in the process of becoming.
Right.
And some die outside the womb before they fully become.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I do, exactly.
So, we're talking about potential. You have the potential. But whether you achieve it or not, well,
right.
That has to do with you.
Thank you, brother. That answer. You know, that's been a so long question that I would speak upon with other peers, and they would quote when Jesus say, all of ye are gods, children of the Most High God, but without understanding that you have to grow into the potential in order to use certain gifts, I guess, that's bestowed upon you. That's by nature.
You have to study the self. And I talk with brothers, and I talk with them. Right now, it's just think about it. We as a people don't find ourselves interesting enough to study. Think about it.
That's right.
We don't find ourselves interesting enough to study. Yet every being on the planet is studying us. But us. Why don't we find ourselves interesting enough to study us?
Right.
It's the programming. We look outside for everything. when inside is where all originate.
That's right, brother. Everything's what did it say? The temple of God is within you.
Yes, you were instructed that by one of our brothers, wasn't it?
Yes, sir. But see, this is still detailing and dealing with the female, because it's within, as you stated, the first teacher. So that knowledge or that belief in self, that knowing that she is important and valuable, then it expressed that love and joy into that womb. So when I guess I'm trying to say that that can cure that pain that we've been in, to break that pain curse. You know, it's like we trapped in pain. Even the songs and the rocking it's like, when is the love and the joy coming in?
No, you're just focusing on it and don't understand how your mind works. You're focusing on it, and so as a result of your focusing on pain, you're constantly experiencing it.
Come on, yes sir, brother. That's metaphysics.
Well, that's what it is. I mean, things. It all goes back to what? Self-knowledge, self-study. We don't find ourselves interesting. Yet when you study yourself, you find everything that you need, everything, period. When you study yourself,
you're right.
all of the systems, you see it all right there within itself.
That, brother.
The whole universe that you're looking outside to see, you study yourself and you'll find out it's not far away from you as you imagine.
Wow, that's now that is what can create that unity we've been talking about. Because when you study yourself, you see you in that Panamanian or that Haitian, that Dominican or that African or that Aborigine or whatever. You know, because at one point we as blacks in America, we thought that it started and ended with just us right here in America.
I understand, but brother, I want you to understand. My joy is within the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of my teacher and what he has so gracious given to me. And that's why I laugh. I laugh because I'm truly happy. Inside of your mother is the first environment you live in. You ever considered that?
No, sir. Not till you just said.
It's the first environment you live in. You have to make adjustments while you're there. These adjustments that you make influence your growth and development. You're receiving messages constantly from her of the external world in the environment in which she lives. You're making adjustments in the self that prepares you for that world outside based on the messaging that she sends to you inside. So if she's terrified and scared to death of the environment that she lives outside, do you particularly think that you want to go out there?
Right.
If she's scared to death,
Yes, sir.
and you look to her for life, oh my God, how do you think that baby is feeling inside? He's picking up on these messages.
Wow.
How is that affecting his psyche in its of her. That's why we really are girls and boys, and not yet matured into men and women. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir, brother. I'm saying to myself, man, I got work to do, brother.
We all have work to do, brother.
Yes, sir.
That's what it is. We have work to do. And that is to focus on itself. Study ourselves. That knowledge have come to us today. It's time to wake up. And he came here to wake us up. We got a lot of work to do, brother.
Yeah.
A lot of work. And you got to be qualified to do it. You can't just, well, I'm going to take on this work. It'll kill you. You got to qualify yourself to be able to do it. Hell, we ain't qualified to even produce a good environment for our women or children to live in. She and our children are scared to death because they see us shaking. What do we fear? We fear the one that has terrorized us as far as we know. We shaking and scared to death. Every time we hear siren, every time we see, we scared to death.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see?
Yeah, I'm
She has no man.
Yeah, I don't
Listen at me, bro.
Yes, sir.
She has no man. She has children, and she raised children. We don't produce children with intent.
That's true.
We walk around and say things like, I'm going to hit that man.
Come on.
And then as a result of the children pop up.
Right.
We're not doing that with intent, aim, and purpose. Knowing what we're doing and knowing what we are producing and realizing the value of it, whereas we guard that with our life.
Yes, sir. Understanding the value in what we create.
Yes.
Wow, bro. But that you answered my next point because no, we're not ready. Because I was getting ready to say, you know how in times where we me and say another partner, we both married. We go off to war. Somebody gets injured or gets killed, and you come back and you see your friend's wife by herself with children. At one point, you would take her in with the children along with your wife, and y'all just raise the family. But we not in that state of mind to even talk about taking on another wife, brother.
But we can't take care of the ones we got.
He said, yes, sir, brother.
That's a problem. What do we produce for them other than more misery and hell? What do we produce for them? They're asking, where is God? Where is God? Where is the one with the power and the force to change things into what he will? Where is he? She got a reason not to believe in God. Why? We don't manifest God. We don't make him known. That means he's what? Still in the dark.
Still in the dark.
Meaning what? Not conscious. Because that's where you are when you're not conscious. You're in the dark.
And don't know how to bring the God forth within you.
No. Because in order to do that, you have to have movement that creates friction. And the friction creates heat. And the heat began to generate light. And therefore, life can come as a result of the generation of that light and that heat.
Yes, sir, brother.
No, we got a long way to go, bro.
Yeah.
We grasshoppers right now all the way. I mean, don't you know this is what's the Caribbean white man name who wrote that letter? Mr. Lynch.
Willie Lynch.
Willie Lynch.
That's right.
He knew.
He knew.
He said, "You here it is. You destroying all your wealth. You got all these black men hanging on these trees and things like this. Why? You don't know how to what? Subdue him."
Right.
He said, "You going after the wrong one." He said, "Go after the woman." I don't want to use them filthy names that he referred to our woman as. Go after her. He said, once you get her, she will bring him to you, every last one, because she is the one that programs the life.
Ooh. So Willie Lynch was using science on us.
Yes, science is what it's about. What are you dealing right now? You're in a pandemic right now, right?
Yes, sir.
Most of us don't know what the hell that is. Don't even know what's going on. Barely can pronounce the name pandemic. What the hell is COVID-19?
Right.
We don't study them kind of things. We wasn't taught to study. We was taught to obey. And so we still obey. We still line up meekly like sheep and do what we're told.
Facts. I mean, then that's that exactly. But
We got to grow.
yes, sir.
What if the life don't grow? What do we call the life? Say you got a child, right?
Right.
And this child may be 3-4 years old, right?
Right.
But it don't mature consciously.
Yeah.
You know, and so you see the child now, 30, 40 years old, right?
Right.
Still acting like it's what?
Yeah.
3 or 4.
3 or 4.
What do we say? What is the name we give that?
But it would, in one sense, they would call it retardation.
Yeah, it is definitely
Then they
something here.
just stagnated. A mental illness. Wow.
We see that, don't we?
Yes, sir.
But one name is arrested development.
Yes, sir.
We suffer a lot of that.
Ah.
You see all these big, strong, masculine bodies. But what of the mind?
And the most valuable part.
Well, well, brother, she's valuable. We don't go nowhere without her.
Right, nowhere. I was saying.
We don't go nowhere, bro. Nowhere.
Yes, sir.
And as long as she's ignorant, you can't hope to produce wise children. Listen, I'm going to say that again. As long as she's ignorant of the knowledge of herself, as long as she's fearful and scared because she's living in an environment with no protection, we can't go nowhere. We cannot produce nothing that is wise.
Yeah.
She is the key to that.
Yeah.
So she has to be programmed, what? To produce the life, know its value, and guard it with hers. Is that not the duty of a mother?
Yes.
She is the first guardian of the life, and she will give her life to protect what is inside of her.
That's right.
Will we give our life for her to do that?
And that's evident from what we allow to go on around us and the environment we created out of our own hands.
Anybody can come in and out of our community and have their way with her.
That's right.
Not only that, we will give her to anybody in and outside of our community. Because we see no value in her, because see no value in ourselves. We say we love our children, yet we watch the enemy kill them daily, all kinds of ways. And we sit around and cry, and we sit around and watch and take pictures and run videos and film at how he slaughters our babies. And we make no effort to stop it. And the first time somebody said, "You ain't no man," we ready to kill them.
Right.
You know why? They just manifested our shame.
Right.
And we trying to hide it.
Right. Yeah. It was made apparent. I don't know if you saw that Ronald Green, the latest incident that they showing on the news that took place in West Monroe. But the interesting thing was, while they was beating him, he said, "I'm your brother," and they were like, they didn't see him as a brother, as one of theirs, but he saw them as one of his.
Brother, it's all about the programming and your perception of reality, your perception of everything. You act on that. You live on that. What you deem to be real, your belief system, your perception of the external world, you act on that. And all of that is being governed by your enemy. You're not controlling that. You don't understand about receptors. And so he messaged you. And you will open up. And you receive it. And you act on it. Oh my God. I can tell you so much about COVID and what it's doing and the example of what it is. Oh, by the way, and I'm going to say this, and that's for another time.
Yes, sir.
You know that those nano capsules that embody the mRNA,
right,
that can be hacked. How many of us study nanotechnology and what it is?
Very few.
We don't study nothing.
Nothing, brother. We
just out here, brother. We trying to what? Get rid of the pain.
Right.
Pain is a part of life. It aids in your direction of how to move yourself to avoid injury and death.
So we should embrace the pain.
Definitely, and acknowledge it.
Come on, brother.
It's telling us something. It's a sensor.
Come on, brother. And I'm saying. Yes, sir, brother.
Can you imagine putting your hand in fire and not feeling pain? You watch your hand burn off.
That's right.
Right?
Right.
But because you have pain sensors, when you put your hand near the fire, you feel the heat, and what do? You move out the way.
Right.
And thereby preserving your hand. You need to understand things like this.
Yes.
But in order to do so, you must study the self.
Well, Master Waalee Muhammad, brother, I appreciate the science in which you gave to us, or the atoms that you cracked, and even the minds that you awoke on this program, because this is a start.
All praise is due to Allah, who came in the person of Master W.F. Muhammad.
Yes, sir.
Thank him forever for our brother, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. We are forever in his debt.
Yes, sir, brother. And we're not we'll do more programs, brother, if you willing, and inshallah, because a gift is when a message can be delivered and discerned to where you can understand it at any given moment in time. And I appreciate that because it was explained in a way that first it made you think, but then it motivated you to cause to take some motion. But we're going to need some more in time, brother.
We'll talk again, God willing.
Yes, sir, brother. Thank you for being on the show, Master Waalee Muhammad, Verbal Pick Radio, and we're out.